Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Toyota, the official vehicle of the Patriots, and Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Well, we've got perfect conditions tonight for football here at Gillette Stadium. A beautiful summer night, 79 degrees, crystal clear. Look at that moon. Perfect. As the Bears and Patriots get set to meet. Time now for our Putnam Performance in Motion Player Spotlight. After that, we go down to the third member of our broadcast team, three-time Super Bowl champion Matt Chatham. Matt.
Tonight, my eyes will be on new tight end from the Chicago Bears, Martellus Bennett. Ninth-year vet gets an opportunity early in his time with a new team to play against his old mates. Fortunately, many of these Patriots' presumed top targets will not be available tonight, much as they weren't a week ago, where Martellus Bennett and Jimmy Garoppolo started to form a foundation. A little bit of a relationship there in times where Jimmy needed a completion. They hit each other early for Jimmy's first play. They also hit him on a get back on track play, get himself in a spot, find that big tight end. And as Christian pointed out a week ago, those downfield balls that they missed on, thrown at the 6'6" wide receiver / tight end's waist. Throw it high, get it high for the big man, make some plays. Big opportunity tonight for Martellus Bennett to join that relationship and take it another step further with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hey, Matt, looking forward to watching number 88 along with 87 as the season begins. There's Bill Belichick's 17th season. What says it all to me about Bill Belichick? 13 straight seasons with 10 or more wins. How about consistency there? Bears won the toss. Here's the opening kick from Gostkowski, taken by Deontay Thompson. And he carries the ball out over the 20, near the 25-yard line, where the Chicago Bears will start 1st and 10. With that said, let's meet the Patriots starting defense, brought to you by Gillette.
All right, well, you're going to see Trey Flowers. That's the most important thing right there. He gets a start. No Sheard, no McClellan. Obviously, Chris Long playing against his brother this week. Marcus Kuhn gets a start for the first time this year also. And there's the three guys you want to look at. Dante Hightower, Jamie Collins, and, of course, Jonathan Freeney back. And then the back end, Cyrus Jones getting his first start this year, along with Devin McCourty and Patrick Chung.
Jay Cutler starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears, coming off his best season numbers-wise. Handoff over the right side, Jeremy Langford. And here's a look at the Bears and what we see from their starting offense. We'll get to that's their defense. We'll get their offense momentarily here. We do know Matt Forte, now a member of the New York Jets, so Langford filling in for him. Some big shoes to fill there, Christian.
Yeah, that's a big back right there. He's not, big like LeGarrette Blount, but he plays big. He's physical, and he's not afraid of contact.
Langford picked up 5. Cutler back to pass, has a receiver. We've seen that all week in joint practices. Alshon Jeffrey as he beats Justin Coleman on the play.
Play action pass right now. Now, this is Alshon Jeffrey. He's been having a great week so far, joint practices against the Patriots. Now, that's just a back shoulder. He throws it short, but Jeffrey's so big, so physical. You can throw it short, you can throw it high. He's usually coming down with it. Mismatch right there on the outside. Something to look at as we go forward in today.
29 yards on the play. Ball on the Patriots' 43-yard line. Just underway here, first quarter. Thanks for joining us here on a beautiful night for football, as I've said several times. Here's Cutler again to Jeffrey. Coleman on the coverage, and another first down.
Well, obviously, it's the early theme so far is Alshon Jeffrey picking on Coleman. Jeffrey had a great 3 days of practice. It got a little chippy there, a couple times with Malcolm Butler, but they have a lot of, information on these guys since they practice against them. Let's see if they keep going to them.
1st and 10 on the 31-yard line of New England. Another test early for the defense. Here's Langford. They'll get it over the 30 near the 28-yard line, setting up second down.
Now, Coleman just got beat the last 2 times against Jeffrey now, and then they run it right at his side. He beats the block, goes in there, and gets in on the tackle. And if you're going to play corner in the league, you have got to have a nose for the football. You cannot be afraid that when the ball comes your way. Look, he's not even a big guy, 5'11", 190 pounds. But you got to play big.
Here's Cutler on second down. Langford behind his line. Gets down near the 25-yard line where he'll set up 3rd and about 4. Marcus Kuhn, big man. for the Patriots. Patriots very good on third down defense last year, Christian. Another chance here. Cutler, time, throws complete for another first down. Taken by Kevin White, second-year player out of West Virginia. Malcolm Butler on the stop.
Here he is right here. Malcolm Butler with man coverage on 3rd and 4. Just got to get to the sticks. That's all he needs to do. Pushes it a little bit farther. Comes back to the football. Really nothing Malcolm Butler can do on that play right there. Nice job by Cutler sticking it in there. And they move the chains.
He's had a lot of time, too, Christian.
A nice mix of play-action pass, run.
And they run again. Langford on first down. He'll bowl his way down near the 10-yard line. Pretty efficient first drive here. We get a flag on the play. And a shoe-off from Malcolm Brown. Brad Allen, our referee tonight.
Holding. Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty. First down.
You know, last week the defense started so fast with that Patrick Chung breakup and then Jamie Collins picking it off and running it in for 6. Chicago Bears are really throwing out all their plays right now. Nice run mix, play action pass, a couple sub looks right there. There's Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers getting a start tonight. No Jamal Sheard, no Shea McClellan.
First and 20 now on the 29-yard line. Cutler throws. Langford run out of bounds by Collins. I'll tell you, the one thing that stood out to me, Christian, from week 1 for the Chicago Bears is they were sacked 7 times against Denver last week.
Yeah, and the Patriots did a nice job. They didn't get as many sacks. They got 2 last week, but they were disruptive. They got a couple hurries, and they were really aggressive getting after the quarterback. And I know that the Chicago Bears, one of the areas of concern with their offensive line, lost a couple guys to free agency, drafted a guy, really trying to short that offensive line.
Second and long now for Cutler. Short the pass, taken down inside the 15-yard lines. Mark Mariani on the reception. We get a flag down on the play. Consistent theme from last week carrying over here tonight.
Illegal formation foul. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
There's John Fox, head coach of the Chicago Bears in his second season with Chicago last year. There you see it. Overall has been with Chicago, Denver, Carolina. They lost the Gase, their coordinator, to Miami. Someone else coming into the AFC East trying to knock off the Patriots.
Yep.
Be interested to see what he does with Tannehill.
And Foxy is not happy about that last penalty. That's a formation penalty that you just can't have at this point in time in the preseason.
Second and long again, 16. Bears first possession. Time, now it's deflected but caught. Complete. Moiaki with the reception. 7th-year player out of Iowa. Coleman on the coverage.
You know, Jay Cutler, such a strong arm. They send Jeffrey around. He's just going to sprint for nothing. He's going to take out the safety. And the back just kind of gets wide open right there. And he's got such a strong arm. Even when the ball is tipped, it still has enough velocity to get there.
Yeah, that's one thing you notice. Like,
he's such a cannon.
A little wobbly there coming off the tip, but enough to get it there.
I mean,
here's a good third down opportunity for the defense. Crowd on its feet. Cutler, ball popped up in the air, incomplete. The Patriots do a nice job on third down.
Fellas, we know a week ago there were some issues with situational wins, getting a red zone win, getting stops. They had plenty of turnovers, plenty of ball disruption, but getting a drive stop here where you don't get 7 was a huge moment for this defense, something the coaching staff was really emphasizing during this week.
Anthony Johnson in on that play. Starting to make an impression here a little bit, Christian. A second-year player out of LSU. 37-yard field goal attempt here.
Looks like they had the yardage wrong there. Had to move it closer to the goalpost.
Yeah, a little adjustment here with the football, so it's 36 for Robbie Gould. Ball on its way. And it's good. So the Bears take the football. First 6 minutes of the game. They get a field goal, but some good third down defense by Johnson on the tip. Hats ball when we return. Here in Gillette Stadium, Bears come down, get a field goal. Time now for our Gatorade Prime to perform keys to the game. Christian, what are you looking for tonight?
All right, start fast. Last week, the defense got you a turnover, got multiple points, and it's time for the offense to start fast. Last week, Jimmy Garoppolo took him a while to get going. Get home. Last week, you mentioned it, Rochi. Denver got 7 sacks on Chicago last week. I think it's time for these young players, the Geno Grissom's, the Trey Flowers, to get as many sacks to be as disruptive as possible on Jay Cutler or whoever's at quarterback. Now, the third one, be special on special teams. We talked to Bill Belichick earlier today. He was not happy with his coverage. It was weak coverage on punt, weak on kickoff return, and no returns of to really speak of. And he wasn't happy. You could tell. He just did not feel like they gave their best performance. 2 big punt returns last week. Not a great job on kickoff team. We'll see what they can do this week.
Robbie Gould to kick. James Devlin, D'Angelo Bentley back to receive for New England. Bentley takes it 3 yards into the end zone and brings it out. The spin move gets him to the 15-yard line where the Patriots will start 1st and 10.
Here's a couple guys that want to get home tonight. There's Chris Long looking at our little pad right there. We'll be right back. Bears 3, Patriots 0.
To the football for the first time tonight, led by Jimmy Garoppolo. Tom Brady will not play tonight. Take a look, Christian, what you saw from Jimmy last week.
Yeah, we talked about it. He started slow, but that's all right. He got going in the end. 11 of 18, 168 yards. Obviously, the long 56-yard screen to James White.
Right now, 71 is eligible. 71 is eligible.
That would be Cameron Fleming for the Patriots. First down. And the carry near the 20-yard line is LeGarrette Blount. Let's take a look at the Patriots starting offense, brought to you by Gillette.
Nate Solder, you know who he is. Joe Tooney, the rookie, getting another start. Josh Klein, first time we've seen him in the starting lineup so far this year. Running backs, LeGarrette Blount, Martellus Bennett. Tyler Gaffney going to get a lot of reps today. Aaron Dobson and Chris Hogan, first time we get to see him play since coming over from Buffalo.
Garoppolo the give to Blount on second down. Pound his way down for a few. Will set up 3rd and short. And let's take a look at the Bears defense. Usually when you hear that phrase, you think of Urlacher, Butkus, and tough battles.
Yeah, those guys aren't there anymore, but Akeem Hicks, everyone's going to remember him. Used to be here for the Patriots. Danny Trevathan comes over from Denver. They really like him on the inside. And look out for Devontae Bowsby, cornerback, Chicago Bears.
First third down opportunity for Jimmy in the offense. Has time, throws it behind Aaron Dobson, incomplete. 3 and out for New England.
This is just not what you're looking for if you're Aaron Dobson. You get a great opportunity again, 3rd year in a row, where they're going to give you a shot to start because there's so many injuries, or the other guys are just too good, they don't need to play him. Wasn't the best pass by Garoppolo, a little bit behind him. First third down opportunity, you got to make the catch. You're running out of opportunities if you're Aaron Dobson. You can't feel happy with yourself right now just by that performance right there.
Ryan Allen on the kick for New England. Mariani back inside the 25. They'll get about 12 yards, and that's where the Bears will start their second drive of the night. Quick 3 and out for the Patriots. See how the Patriots defense responds. Well, he was looking for a fast start, but Jimmy Garoppolo on the offense didn't get it. 3 and out. Christian, what happened on the 3rd and short?
Well, this is just a quick little rub route, but Aaron Dobson, he's open. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't give him a great pass. It's behind him, but that's the ball you got to catch. The 3rd down play, you catch it, you move the chains, you keep the momentum going. It's a great receiver in Aaron Dobson. He just hasn't been able to show it consistently. He'll make one big play, he'll drop a pass. He'll make another big play, he'll drop a pass.
And you hit it on your open, Christian, about the importance of a fast start for Jimmy. He got an unfettered throw on 3rd down to an open receiver and threw it behind him. Not the start he would have been looking for.
Yeah, both guys need to be better. Wasn't a great throw by Garoppolo. It was obviously a no catch by Dobson, but it's not always going to be perfect.
Second drive of the night, Jeremy Langford goes nowhere. Nice job by the Patriots defense. Collins in on it, Flowers too.
We see Jamie Collins do this all the time. At first, Trey Flowers does a great job of setting the edge and not allowing anything to go outside. And here comes Jamie Collins. He's so quick and so fast, and more importantly, just so good at recognizing what's going on with the play. Unblocked, does a nice job of getting inside. There's Trey Flowers right there doing a good job just fighting his way off blocks.
Loss of 11 on the play. On second down, Cutler, complete. Moeaki on the reception, Hightower with the coverage.
I mean, we've been talking about this all week, Matt. You know, guys like Trey Flowers and Geno Grissom being able to get a shot. A lot of guys hurt. Bill talked about Trey Flowers just, working on stopping the run.
Yeah, one of the things we talked with them about that I was surprising, but I think it's what you and I saw on tape a week ago. They don't consider Trey Flowers a third down pass rusher. They consider him a defensive end and a linebacker, a guy that can make plays in all phases.
3rd and 7 for Cutler in the offense. Rushed, throws, incomplete, but a flag down. Moeaki, the intended receiver, Chung on the coverage.
And Cutler knows it already.
Holding. Defense, number 22. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
That play gets extended. Quarterback gets a lot of time, tons of protection. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He can just take his time. And just bad things happening. Lots of guys running around. Defensive players forget about where their help is.
Well, the Bears get a first down, courtesy of the penalty. Ball near midfield. This will be Langford. We'll get a couple. Well, an interesting family battle tonight. Chris Long, just signed by the New England Patriots, going up against the offensive lineman Kyle Long. That would be his brother.
Christian, you know this is a tight end who plays a little off the ball. When you motion across and the outside linebacker makes the first move, as Chris Long did, it's so hard for you to get started downhill. That was a great edge set by Chris Long.
Yeah, he's there's Daddy right there.
There's Howie Long out of Charlestown, Villanova. National champions in basketball. Howie must be proud. Second down. Off the fingertips, incomplete. Let's take a look at Chris Long here, Christian.
There's Chris right there. Oh, yeah, that's not. There he is. And here's Chris. He's got that inside move down pat right there. I mean, he's been doing this a long period of time. 2 years, he's been struggling, though. A lot of injuries, 6 games in 2014, only 12 last year.
Not the long and short of it, though. Long of it. I love it.
That's going to end up in a wrap.
Is that too long? That could be a song.
Oh, sorry.
Third down. Cutler pressure, gets away from it. And throws it out of bounds. Good pressure there, but again, a flag down on the play. Chris Long with the pressure there.
Holding. Defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
So far, Chris Long has had his way with right tackle Bobby Massey. Here he is again. He'll go inside, he'll go outside, but he's just fighting to get home. Look at him. Great hand movement right there. Barely, almost gets a hand on him. Forces Cutler to get out of the pocket. Disrupts the play. This is a guy that's hungry. We talked about it. 2 years dealing with injuries.
Yeah, I mean,
second opportunity.
Yeah.
It was like a second act.
He could stay healthy, Christian. Huge addition for this team. First down at midfield. Cutler. Complete. Moeaki. Butler in on the coverage. Little brotherly love. How you doing? Steve Burton will have more on the long combo. We sat down with them after practice. Great stuff. You'll hear it coming up at halftime.
We talk about the Gronk brothers and that whole family. How about this group at the dinner table? Oh. I think that's like fighting over the last drumstick.
Howie Jr.'s in personnel for the Raiders, too. There's Langford. Yeah, on his feet. Nice carry. Job by him. Another flag. Brought down by Cyrus Jones.
Jimmy Collins just blew up this play again. But Langford did a nice job bouncing off tackles.
Holding. Offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
You know, there's the one position that you're going to see a lot of depth at safety, and a lot of depth with these hybrid guys that they have, these versatile defensive end / outside linebackers. Trey Flowers can play all over the place. Shea McClellan, we saw him last week. Jabal Sheard, Rob Nikovich. Position flexibility. Matt Chatham, you had that, right?
Yeah, versatility, Matt, right?
You got to be able to play all of them, guys, and I think that really stresses some of the guys that are coming in and trying to earn roles. You need to learn 3, maybe even 4 positions. Fills up a young brain.
Second and long, and we get a timeout here called by the Chicago Bears. John Fox.
Charge timeout. Chicago, their first.
We'll let them figure it out. Fox has some issues. Bill Belichick watching his D. We'll return. Now the Patriots have held the Bears to 3 points, trying to hold them once again. We've been talking defense, and for more on that, let's go to our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. We've got Paul Perillo and Andy Hart standing by. Gentlemen, what have we got?
Rochi, we started the discussion about these hybrid defensive front guys that can sort of play inside, play outside, drop occasionally. Now, some of them are out tonight. Jabal Sheard not in the lineup. Rob Nikovich dealing with the injury. Shea McClellan, that's 3 big ones. But you still have Trey Flowers. You still have Chris Long. And we've seen some fronts this year where they've put 3, 4, 5 of those guys on the field, and they challenge an offensive line to figure out what's the front, who's the end, who's the linebacker, who's coming, who's dropping. And I think that's one of those cerebral matches that Bill Belichick loves to play.
Yeah, moving a little further inside, too. Some of those guys that are mixing and matching. Anthony Johnson's a rookie defensive tackle. The last couple of days, we've seen a little bit more of him, and we've seen him tonight in sub packages on third down. He had a big pass defense in the first series.
Second and long now for the Bears out of the timeout. Cutler, time. Throws incomplete. Nearly picked off, or nice defensive play by Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler made a break on this ball that any cornerback would be proud of. Watch the receiver push it up, recognizes, get out of it, almost gets him a pick. Watch how quickly he gets out of that. Oh, it's so close to being an interception. Another great job by Dante Hightower dropping to the flat. They're helping him out. Great job by Malcolm Butler.
Sets up another third down situation for the Patriots. Butler, of course, has been out of nowhere spectacular. We know what happened in the Super Bowl, but has followed that up brilliantly since. Cutler pressured, throws complete, near a first down. Tony Moeaki on the reception, Patrick Chung with the coverage.
One of the things that you have to be wary of, guys, and we know Long is a technician. He's a pro. He plays at a super high level. You need to get these lanes coordinated a little bit. He makes a great inside move, but if the communication doesn't happen with Johnson inside of you, that's called secondary contain. You make the hard inside move, you got to have your buddy cover for you. Otherwise, contain is broken and the completion is made. Long is making plays all over the field, but a lot of times they need to be coordinated with a man next to you.
Yeah, he's making plays, but there's no payoff. He's doing everything right, but he's not getting rewarded for it yet. But you mentioned his motor. He's got one now.
That's tremendous.
They do give him the first down. Bears inside Patriots territory for the second time on their second drive. Flowers pressures Cutler into a bad throw.
Another smart move by Trey Flowers on the naked. Everything would tell a guy like this to over pursue. Here he is right here. Now the play's going to go away, but Cutler's going to back up on a bootleg, and watch him. Doesn't jump, doesn't leave his feet to the last second. Usually quarterbacks want to pump fake and get those guys jump, but he doesn't do it. Great job by Flowers.
Second down now for the Bears. Langford with some running room. Inside the 20, 10, pushed out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Jeremy Langford filling in and taking over for Matt Forte, who's now with the Jets with a 33-yard run.
Yeah, they got some good blocking up front by their offensive line. See Jamie Collins get hemmed up just a little bit. And Langford, I mean, a good job right there, finishing the play, using his vision. Nice little burst there by Langford also. First opportunity for a red zone. Patriots defense.
First and goal on the 5-yard line is where they spot it. Wide open hole into the end zone. Jeremy Langford, 5-yard touchdown. Follows up the nice run with another, and the Bears add to their lead.
The Bears have been pressing this front side zone play. They just keep going. They keep going and going and going, and watch the back get the ball and cut back around. Nice little job right here. The offensive linemen, they're all pressing. They're thinking, there he goes. There's the cutback. Huge lane. Chris Long's got to stay home and make sure there's no waggles or any other play coming back his way. But Langford uses the vision, cuts it back, gives him 6.
One of the big critiques for a defensive lineman, Christian, is getting washed. In other words, you're trying to dive into that gap, and you end up going laterally down the line. They do not like that. Creates lanes for the running back.
As we saw last week, teams going for 2. Patriots and Saints did it. The Bears will do it in their first touchdown of the night. Cutler, time, throws, complete. Over the middle, Rob Hausler, 6-year tight end out of Florida Atlantic, adds the 2-point conversion. Cutler to Hausler for 2. Off of the Langford touchdown, puts the Bears up by 11. Now the Bears 2 for 2 on points. 2 possessions, field goal, and touchdown, and a 2-point conversion point as well. What are you seeing, Christian, on this replay?
Well, here I'm going to tell you what Matt was talking about, getting caught up in the wash. Watch all the linemen go this way. Here's Joe Villano right here. Watch Kyle Long. Watch Bobby Massey. They push him through, and then there creates the lane, the backside lane, for the touchdown.
Bobby Gold on the kickoff to James Devlin. He gets tripped up right at the 11-yard line. We told you earlier that Tom Brady not playing tonight. Let's take a look at who else is not playing this evening. Some of the names for the New England Patriots.
Well, of course, Rob Gronkowski, Danny Amendola. Jonathan Cooper is still out. Haven't seen him since the very first day of camp. Jabal Sheard came down with something. Of course, Brady's not here tonight. Shane McClellan is a new one today. Obviously, Rob Ninkovich. So a lot of your starters, Keyshawn Martin also hasn't been in a lot of reps during camp so far.
Injury report brought to you by Optum. 1st and 10 for Garoppolo, his second time with the ball to White. Dances his way for a couple of yards. Set up a 2nd and long.
That screen worked so well for him last week. They just came right to it on the very first play. But they got to get something going. They got to get a first down, some positive yardage.
Well, we talked about Rob Gronkowski being at the top of that list. Andy Hart, both you and I were there the day watching. I watched on binoculars. Take us what you saw with Gronk and that injury earlier this week.
Well, Rochi, it was one of those things where he's in 7-on-7. He goes up for a high throw, and he actually sort of let out a little gasp or moan. And it certainly looked from afar like a muscle injury, a pull. I likened it, if you remember back in 2007 in training camp, Randy Moss was in the end zone, reached up for a high ball, pulled his hamstring. We never saw him again the rest of the summer, and then we saw him on opening day dominating. I think that's the best case scenario you're looking for Rob Gronkowski is he tweaked a muscle, maybe a hamstring. He rested for a little bit, but nothing serious, nothing long-term.
No reason to play him here in the preseason. Garoppolo another 3rd down opportunity. Jimmy looks complete. Martellus Bennett, the former Bear, with his first reception of the night. First down for the Patriots.
Yeah, that makes sense because, they had a nice little combination going last week. You can tell that Garoppolo trusts him. He's going to run nice, easy routes. He's going to work separation. Here he is right there. Watch him just work it out, and they're just going to break it out. Linebacker number 50, Jarrell Freeman, tries to cover him. He just puts the body on him, breaks it off, works separation. Garoppolo gets it to him.
Thought we saw nice composure in the pocket there, too, from Garoppolo. On first down, Blunt pulls his way towards the 35 as we wind down time here in the first quarter.
That was a great move by LeGarrette Blunt. Just showing some nice footwork. I know he didn't have the best year last year of dealing with some injuries, but for a big back, he's still got some great feet.
I think that last play there to Bennett is telling guys. We talked about it a little in the open. When Jimmy was pressed and he goes deep into his progressions, you see him looking for Bennett. That's an important distinction. They're finding each other.
Well, the Patriots have begun to move the football as we reach the end of the first quarter. We'll see if he can lead them to a score when we return.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Gillette, the official shave of the New England Patriots. And by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots.
Cheerleaders, little Luke Bryan country music blaring here in the PA system of Gillette Stadium, and some football. Pretty good night.
All that's missing is another wrap.
Later. Second down, Blunt. Nice move to the outside. Still on his feet. Over midfield, near the 45-yard line. Pick up where you left off on LeGarrette Blunt at the end of the first quarter.
There was nothing there. There was nothing there. He took this ball all the way to the outside. Watch him coming in low and coming right at you. There's nothing there. Linebacker can't get him. He jitterbugs him a little bit, breaks a tackle, gets to the outside with enough speed, and then jukes another safety.
21 yards on the play. Matt Chatham, we've got in talking with Bill Belichick, almost an open audition for that lead back.
I think that's fair. You look around the league, there aren't a lot of lead backs taking a lot of heavy carries in the first and second preseason game. It's an open race.
Garoppolo on first down, throwing incomplete. Harper bumped on the play. We should get a pass interference on Tracy Porter of the Bears.
That was obvious. He ran right into him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Here's Harper. There's the defender right there. And here comes Harper. He's just doing a nice little in route. Harper tries to undercut it, but instead of going for the football, goes right for the body. Harper's like, what's going on here? Like, no, that was obvious, buddy.
That's was the look on Porter's face, right?
It's like, what are you doing?
Are you kidding me? No. Ball on the 35-yard line of the Bears, just underway second quarter. Hogan doesn't get much. Got bumped by, it looked like Tooney, his own team.
I could see this play coming a mile away. Hogan just comes in a short motion. Doesn't gain any ground, just waits for his blockers. Those are the type of plays you want to see Hogan do. You want to see him catch those slip screens, those tear screens. Get him in space.
Formerly of the Buffalo Bills, Chris Hogan expected to add plenty, especially when Amendola, Edelman, Gronk all back. Another good option for Garoppolo and Brady. Second and long. Bolden inside the 20-yard line. He was wide open. 17 yards on the play.
Yeah, and a couple guys wide open. Bennett was wide open. But here comes Bolden out of the backfield.
Number 71 is an eligible receiver.
There he
71 is eligible.
Wide open. Bennett's wide open. Gives it to Bolden. And Bolden just being so consistent. Always there for him. Always there for you when you need a big play.
Boy, they were all wide open on that play. Jimmy had his choice. Here's Blunt up the middle. Bowls his way down near the 10-yard line.
Now, this is when Josh McDaniels is at his best. Everything's working right now. Runs are working. Even when the hole is filled up, Blunt's making something happen. They pull a blitz. You have two guys wide open. Now this is when Jimmy can get himself into a rhythm. Now the defense is on their heels.
Absolutely. Right side of that offensive line too, Christian. They had some rough series a week ago. That was pretty good movement there.
Second and short. Blunt again up the middle. Loses the ball momentarily, but gets it back.
It was a great job by the interior offensive line. Josh Klein, Joe Tooney.
Now you're inside the 10-yard line, fellas, after two big runs. As a linebacker, play action is a killer here. You want to bite on that run fake, but you're going to get slipped when those big tight ends fall in behind you.
10th play of the drive, first and goal at the 7. Blunt again. Nowhere this time.
This is one of those opportunities, and I was calling for it last week. You have this tight end that's 6'6". No, he's not Gronk. But good luck matching up with him when the quarters are tighter. The ball's going to come a lot faster, and you got to be perfect if you're defending him. Let's see where they put Martellus Bennett on this play. They're going to flex him out right now.
He's outside of Dobson. Hogan and Harper left. Second down. Bolden escapes to the outside. Can he get in? No. Loses the football, and the Bears recover. Oh, that'll take the air out of that bubble right there after a nice drive by the Patriots.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating. You're really doing everything right, and Bolden really had a great opportunity to make something out of nothing when the hole just kind of evaporated.
Tracy Porter on the recovery. And when we return, the Bears get the ball back. Drive interrupted by Tracy Porter. Your head coach, here you go.
Yeah, this is a great job by Bolden, but watch, he's got the ball in his left hand, and Porter rips it out right there. And I would like to tell you to put it in your right hand as you're going to your right side, but normally when you start seeing contact coming and tackling, you don't want to mess around with switching the balls from your left to your right. You just got to hold on to it.
Well, teaching point 101 right there. You know, you do everything right, good drive, good rhythm. Garoppolo, Blunt, company.
Yeah, that's
boom.
frustrating. And and Bolden is a reliable guy. This isn't like something that is a problem with him, but it definitely just gets you frustrated when you do everything right, get all the way down, then you come up with zeros.
First down for the Bears. Jacquizz Rodgers in the game from Chicago. He'll get a few. He pounds his way near the 10-yard line. Hightower on the stop for New England.
And this New England Patriots defense is going to be challenged because the Bears, although their offensive line needs some work, but they're playing pretty good today. They got some pretty good backs with Langford and Kadeem Carey, Jacquizz Rodgers. Rodgers being more the shifty, explosive back.
On second down, after the turnover for the Bears. Rodgers again goes nowhere. Good pursuit. Jamie Collins in there, and finishing it off was Malcolm Brown.
First time we've called Malcolm Brown's name since the beginning of preseason. Second year defensive tackle out of Texas.
And so now we get to the part of the game that Paul and Annie introduced earlier. You've got 6 guys on the field, adding Collins and Hightower in the mix that could presumably be an end or could walk up into a gap. It makes for a difficult count for that offensive line.
Here's Cutler, steps up, pursued, and he goes down. Trey Flowers in there for the Patriots. Also Anthony Johnson, who's had a good night, second-year player out of LSU. And the Patriots defense steps up after the turnover.
Great job on coverage right there by the defensive backs. But again, Trey Flowers getting home. Watch these two guys right here. Go ahead and run it, boys. And obviously Chris Long keeping contained, making sure nothing gets out. Trey Flowers gets free. Anthony Johnson gets off his block.
So tough for a guard on a 260-pound guy with all that space on third down.
Pat O'Donnell, the punter for the Bears. Cyrus Jones at his 41-yard line. Gets near midfield, where Jimmy Garoppolo and the Patriots offense will start it again. Thanks to some good Patriots defense after the Patriot turnover, Flowers and Johnson combined to shut down the Bears. They come from around the world to see this Patriots team. How about that? That's a journey. As they watch the Patriots here in preseason game number 2. Battle the Bears.
Number 71 is an eligible receiver. 71 is eligible.
Cameron Fleming into the game. That means perhaps the Patriots start to run here. And Tyler Gaffney, who had a touchdown last week, is your back.
Great time for take a shot down the field also.
Bennett in motion. Garoppolo steps up and gets stepped on. Fleming, who came into the game, gave up that sack. We get a flag down on the play as Sam Acho bowled him over. Looks like it may be against the Bears.
Just said it was a perfect opportunity to take a shot down the
Holding.
field.
Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
On the last Patriots drive, of course, Brandon Bolden had the fumble, and now opportunity here next for Tyler Gaffney. We've seen Blunt. Let's bring in Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. And gentlemen, the running back situation, we keep speculating, talking about it. Looks like it's still wide open here. We haven't seen Dion Lewis yet. Paul?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting. And actually tonight, I think it's been the best that we've seen LeGarrette Blount look. I think he's been quick, he's been spry, he's been quick to the hole, and he's maximizing his yardage. But I still think, and this is a little bit different, I still think that the best running back, or the number one running back, may not even be on the roster yet. I think there are a lot of teams around the league that have a lot of guys at that position. Tennessee, Dallas, Kansas City. There's some guys down the depth chart. Bishop Sankey is one guy in particular I have my eye on in Tennessee. I think the Patriots could make a late camp trade and bring somebody in, but I'm really glad to see Tyler Gaffney tonight. Want to see if he can build off of what he did last week.
Last week he had 64 yards, including a 44-yard touchdown. We'll talk about that in a moment. Second down. It is Gaffney. And he bowls his way down for a first down. Here's the look. Let's take a look at Gaffney's 44-yard touchdown run. His first action in a preseason game ever in the NFL after 2 years of frustration.
Yeah, it's been a long road for Tyler Gaffney after, graduating out of Stanford. But you saw a little bit of burst there, nice vision. I mean, the whole sideline just came over, congratulated, yelling and screaming. They're so excited for him.
Told us yesterday it was a surreal feeling. Gets the ball again and gets some good yards. Tripped up, but gets inside the 30-yard line. When you look at Tyler Gaffney, comes out of Stanford. In his third year, one knee one year, one knee the next, and hasn't been able to get on the football field, even in a preseason game. So when we talked to him yesterday, Christian, it was talking about, he showed emotion, almost in tears, of what it meant to him and his family. His parents were here last week as well.
He has a newborn son and just really appreciates the opportunity.
We'll get another one here. That's another first down.
That's a good run right there. Great job right there with the vision. Again, pressing the outside leg of the tackle, using his vision, one cut, shifting gears, going the other way, getting positive yardage.
And not to take any shine off Gaffney, he's doing a great job, but this offensive line is getting some movement. It's something they spent a lot of time on this week of practice against the Bears. The double teams are climbing well, Christian, really well coordinated, getting guys turned. Nice orchestration there by the Patriots offensive line.
18 yards on the last 3 carries by Gaffney. First and 10 on the 23-yard line. The fake to Gaffney this time. Garoppolo has Bennett down inside the 5-yard line.
Here's Bennett at the end of the line right here. I tell you what, he is sneaky fast. He can just kind of cruise it right there in second gear. And as soon as he catches, watching him find another gear. Smooth route runner. Nice job by Garoppolo finding the lane. Gets upfield. Hit him again right now. Play action pass corner.
First to goal on the 3 is Gaffney. He gets stopped just short. You look at Bennett, Christian, last 3 seasons with the Chicago Bears, the team that he's facing here tonight, his old team. 208 catches for 2,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Pro Bowler in 2014. He brings a lot to the table. We've talked about him before.
You can flex him out. You can bring him in. He's a capable blocker, a willing blocker, not a great blocker.
3 tight ends in the game, guys. You got Derby on the field now as well, in addition to Bennett.
Power package on second down. Gaffney near the goal line, short though. That'll set up third down.
This new emphasis on the run. 3 tight end set. Derby, Devlin, Martellus Bennett, Josh McDaniels. 2 runs in a row.
And Harbor's the other guy on the other side here, Christian. And really, Derby and Harbor, neither of these guys are glass eaters. So watching them engage slightly with the linebacker and slip into the flat might be a good move.
Bennett and Harbor left of Solder. Now Harbor comes in motion. On 3rd and goal, Gaffney. Nope. Swarmed by the Bears defense.
This is a tough look right here. The Bears did a great job of just getting off the football. Penetration right there, right by Josh Klein. Gets an edge, runs into a wall. Bears celebrating. They're going to kick a field goal.
Matt Chatham, how disappointing is that? You know, you get to where you want to be, you use the power package, and they get stopped pretty hard by the Bears.
I think after a couple plays in a row, it was a hard-charging defense. I think he pulls it out of his gut. You got a play-action play there available to you.
21-yard field goal attempt by Gostkowski. And it's good. Patriots cut into the lead. They wanted more, but it's down to 5 here in the first half.
Heavy.
Patriots cut the lead to 8 of the Bears, and it's time now for our Bank of America trivia question. Who are the 5 coaches to appear in a Super Bowl as both head coach and defensive coordinator? Christian, let's not let Matt Chatham ruin the answer for everyone at home like he did last week.
Well, I know this. John Fox is one, obviously. We got Bill Belichick. That's the other. How about Ron? Let me see. No, is it Ron Rivera? Carolina coach.
Yeah, he's in there.
I'm going to go with him. George Seifert. And I don't have a fifth. I don't have a fifth. We got a fifth?
All right, so we got 4 out of the 5. Matt?
I don't believe he just knew George Seifert.
What? What do you mean?
You got 90 seconds. When we return, we'll get one more. Matt Chatham feeling bad because he couldn't take away the answer for everyone.
So mad.
A long 90 seconds, but here you go. Our Bank of America trivia question. Who are the 5 coaches to appear in a Super Bowl as both head coach and defensive coordinator? There you go.
Oh, the only guy I didn't know was Lovie Smith. Well, that's crazy. Oh, well, you know, what are you going to do, Chatham? Can't win all of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, Google is your friend, I guess.
Right. Listen, we all got cell phones, right? My internet connection is very fast tonight.
George Seifert, tip of your tongue. I knew you had it.
You get to see Ron Rivera next week as the Pats get on to Carolina. By the way, Brian Hoyer in at quarterback here for the Bears. Late second quarter, his first throw into the hand of a Patriot. Cyrus Jones dances his way down to the 15, and the Patriots immediately get another opportunity for points coming up.
Cyrus Jones read this route from the very beginning. Brian Hoyer just flat out just told him exactly where he was throwing the football. Watch the jump. Here's Cyrus Jones right here. This is a great job. He bails just quickly. Watch him put his foot on the ground. Goes behind the receiver. Knows exactly where the receiver is going. Maybe it's because he had a couple practices against the same wide receiver the past 3 days. Now he's fired up right there. That's a great job right there by Cyrus Jones, giving the Patriots the football back after they couldn't score, fumbled it once.
Nice job by the rookie out of Alabama. Sets up 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line for Garoppolo, who looks to capitalize, immediately throws into the end zone, off the hands of A.J. Derby, incomplete.
It could have been a magnificent catch right there from Derby, who's actually been making catches like that pretty much the entire camp. The ball's thrown behind him. He tries to put that big paw on, and he actually has it for a second, but it just wobbles free.
Not a great pass, guys. Down in the red zone, take a shot, get your big opportunity. That ball's got to be out in front, lead him. The defender is behind and trail.
2nd down. Garoppolo rushed, dumps it to White. Nice move to get away from the defenders. 5. Down near the goal line. Just shy. What a play by James White. Sets up a 1st and goal.
That was all James White. Got some nice blocking downfield. But really, he does a lot of the work. What's the lineman come out? Tooney gets a nice block. Hogan got a block. And it's just making guys miss. I really thought that play was going to be a loss, but he really kept his legs moving, didn't give up on the play.
His short area burst is very good, guys. Very deceptive how quick he gets out of the break.
1st and goal. Blunt. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blunt. And the Patriots take advantage of the Cyrus Jones interception and trail by 2.
Yeah, it's a great job by the front side. Derby, Harbor, washing the defensive tackles down. All started by that guy right there, Cyrus Jones, with the big interception. Hoyer comes in the game, throws a pick. Patriots get 6 out of it.
Really important there that they got a situational win. Sudden change, got the ball deep in the red zone. To come up with 3 would have been a big disappointment. Punching in is that whole situational win that Coach Belichick talks so much about during the week.
And the Patriots will go for 2. Brandon Bolden out far right. Dobson and Hogan left. Now Bolden behind Jimmy. And here's Hogan in motion. He goes nowhere. Well, that falls short, but let's take a look at how this unfolded here late in the second quarter, starting with Cyrus Jones.
Cyrus Jones, great job of recognizing what was going on right off the bat. Basically ran the route, get some positive yardage, and then the touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, great job by Cannon, great job by Derby washing it down. Harbor seals it, and Blount just gets it on his own. Great job right there. Nice shifty little move, sidestep right there, and just get the ball across the goal line. Great finish. That's got to make you feel good right before half, too. Got a couple opportunities. You haven't been able to close it out, and there goes the muskets.
Yeah, the militiamen firing in all cylinders tonight, like LeGarrette Blount and Cyrus Jones.
You know, those muskets have never gone off when it hasn't completely freaked me out. I'm never quite ready for the muskets. There's Cyrus Jones right there, getting his first start of his young career.
Now, it's been a learning process for Cyrus Jones. I'd like to bring in Paul and Andy again. Gentlemen, what have you seen from Cyrus Jones from day one of camp to here?
You know, I think it's interesting, Rochi. He has struggled a little bit on muffed punt returns, even to the point where I thought he started to show some frustration, threw a ball up in the air and punched it one day, talked about it after practice, but he's kept going. You know, he's kept fighting through it, and that's what Coach Belichick has talked about, you know, not letting it snowball and you make mistakes but not bringing it onto defense if you're the punt returner. And I think he's a confident kid that's in the mix to get some serious playing time.
I would agree. I think I've seen a lot of good stuff from him from time to time. He gets beat occasionally, especially on some crossing routes, which you're going to see a lot of as a slot corner, especially a young one. But I think he has shown the ability to come back, and that's what you need to see out of your young cornerbacks. Short memories. We've seen that on the practice field, and that's a nice play tonight, making some nice instincts there, cutting right underneath the route.
Remember, touchback, we had that on the kickoff from Gostkowski, so they take over the 25-yard line. New rule here, not the 20 in the NFL as we get set to start this 2016 season. And right there, man, has this kid been on fire tonight. Wow. Nice job once again for the Patriots by Anthony Johnson, the second-year kid out of LSU. Woo.
Yeah, that all started on the edge with Trey Flowers. They set the edge, and Johnson, watch him just shoot through. Beats the block, crosses his face, and just makes the tackle in the backfield. There he is right there. Doesn't over-pursue.
Approaching the 2-minute warning here. 2nd and 13. Hoyer. Short pass. Getting nowhere was Mark Mariani.
You know, Johnson in the play again. I mean, that was a designed slip screen right there. And Johnson just barrels his way into the quarterback. There you go. Watch Johnson right here. Look at him. Quick feet, jumps over the back. We'll be right back, Bears. 11-9.
Timeout.
Woo. Stay with us for the Geico halftime report with Steve Burton, hardest working man in show business. We talk about the Long brothers, Chris and Kyle. Really good stuff. They sat down after joint practice number 3 between the Patriots and Bears, talking with each other, having some fun. Here's Howie, Hall of Famer out of Charlestown, holding Chris's son like a football.
That's a typical dad holding a baby. I think we all kind of know that route.
Here's Hoyer being pressured, chased.
Johnson again.
And he throws the ball away.
Johnson is really feeling it right now. He was dancing during the break, beat another player, chasing down the quarterback.
There's no first downs this quarter. Let's go to Paul and Andy. Guys, what can you tell us about Anthony Johnson?
You know, I think earlier I made a mistake and called him a rookie. He's actually a second-year guy out of LSU, and to be honest, he's been really quiet throughout camp. We've seen him, he must have been dealing with some sort of injury because he's done a lot of conditioning work early in camp, but over the last week, and especially in the joint practices with Chicago. The last day of the walkthrough, he was with the first unit, and now you're seeing why tonight. He's been part of the sub packages from start to finish, and he's making a lot of plays.
Here's Cyrus Jones on the punt return with some room. It's out over the 40-yard line, and Jimmy, the offense, will have a $142 to try to put some more points on the board.
Cyrus Jones doing a nice job right there, showing that he can do pretty much anything right now tonight. You know, last year you had Amendola running back punts, you had Edelman running back punts. I mean, this is an area that I think they really want to focus on. Cyrus Jones taking over that job.
And it was a great job of him of fielding that punt. That's a traffic ball. That thing came down with not a ton of hang time, and there were guys upon him within 10 yards. So there's a little distraction. You got to secure it. Still made a couple cuts, got up the field.
Here's Garoppolo on first down. Out pass to Derby.
Get out of bounds there. 2-minute offense, completion, get out of bounds. As a former quarterback, I think A.J. Derby should know that.
Right.
On second down with time winding down, Garoppolo finds Hogan over the midfield stripe, close to a first down.
Great job by James White with the blitz pickup on the linebacker. Gave Garoppolo a little bit extra time.
Down to a minute. On first down, Garoppolo finds the receiver. That's Derby inside the 40-yard line. Good test here for Garoppolo in that 2-minute offense here, Matt Chatham.
Yeah, the impressive thing is seeing his head swivel
Charge
around,
timeout.
go 2, 3, 4
They're first.
looks into the read
30 seconds.
and still find his guy. I mean, it hasn't all been smooth sailing. We realize that in the last 2 weeks. But the way he can work through progressions, that's vet stuff. It's a nice job there.
And they're just playing a soft zone. There's a lot of holes in there for receivers to find the void. Right there, A.J. Derby with cover 2, splits the linebackers, just sits down and waits for Garoppolo to deliver the ball.
Well, it's interesting. We talked to Bill Belichick today and asked him about Jimmy in his third year, what we're seeing from 2 to 3. He says nothing. He's calling the same plays as Tom Brady. So he's saying that he's got the offense. They call the same plays. Feels like he grasps it and understands everything that they're doing. Garoppolo, tons of time, and just throws it away.
Smart decision right there. Last week we saw a similar play closer to the goal line. He ended up rolling to his left and ended up throwing into traffic. This time, same type of situation, and he just throws it away.
I also thought it was interesting that Bill Belichick brought up, he was asked in our meeting about, will you call some different plays because he can run. Garoppolo could run, saying he's on par with Castle. Doing the things we did with him. And we, of course, know what happened when Castle took over for Brady in 08. Garoppolo over the middle, complete to Hogan, inside the 20. Another first down.
And then, again, they bring a blitz. Offensive line picks up everybody. James White sits in. Man, backer tries to come outside. He comes inside and does a great job blocking, and Garoppolo's on rhythm now.
Ball in the 16. Under 30. Garoppolo throws just off the hands of Chris Hogan in the end zone.
Not a completion there, guys, but an interesting development. We haven't seen Chris Hogan get a lot of targets, quite frankly, in this game until they got into this 2-minute offense. Third ball he's seen on this drive.
Now you can see A.J. Derby. He's just going to hit the seam right there. Goes inside, though. It's cover 2. Oh, that's Chris Hogan. My bad. That was Chris Hogan on the seam. That's a 4-receiver deep route. All of them running goes.
Garoppolo 4 of 6 for 41 yards in this drive. And another completion in traffic. Touchdown, Patriots. That's A.J. Derby. And with seconds left to go here in the first half, the Patriots take the lead.
A.J. Derby making a couple nice grabs for Jimmy G. And here he is right here at the end of the line. Right there. And he's just going to go straight up the middle of the field. Goes inside, sets up the safety. And that is a great catch in traffic. He knows he's going to get hit. Holds onto the football. Touchdown, Patriots.
Another attempt on the 2-point conversion. White joins Jimmy in the backfield. Garoppolo, time, throws, complete, 2-point conversion, good. Garoppolo to Hogan. Bit of a slow start, but Hogan on the reception of that 2-point conversion. Nicely done.
You just watch that. This is a great job by Garoppolo. There's no panic. There's just poise, and he hits Hogan right there on the crossing route. He doesn't move his feet. He doesn't chatter him. And watch, here's the touchdown right here to Derby. He knows he's going to get it. He holds on to the football. Watch, here comes the safety coming in late. Gets his helmet on the football, but Derby holds on to it. Doesn't lose it. This is going to make any coach happy. Brian Daboll, there's the offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, but also tight ends coach, Brian Daboll.
Look at that from Josh. Love that emoji.
He's fired up. Derby's been having a good camp. He's really been showing up a lot lately in practice and games.
Tell you what, Christian, those last 2 throws in traffic, I think you used the right word, poise.
Yep.
A lot of poise there. From Garoppolo, as you get a touchback here with seconds left to go in the first half.
He just knew that he had no reason to rush anything. The protection was great. He wasn't panicking, wasn't looking at the blitz, just waiting for the play to develop and taking the open receiver when it declared itself.
It's just great to see him spin the dial. It's great to see him go through the progressions, and when he gets to 2, he doesn't linger. It's quick to 3. His head movement, his eye movement is so quick. When he finds his guy and sets on it, then he throws and drives the ball. Nice job there working through the progressions.
Hoyer takes a knee, and that will do it. A slow start for the Patriots, who fell behind 11-0, but they come roaring back. When we return, the Geico halftime report with Steve Burton, a feature on the Long brothers you won't want to miss. Patriots up 17-11.
This is the end of the first half of play.
We'll be back with more, but a good first half for Jimmy and company. Full moon, championship banners, 17 points in the final 3:52. Moments ago, Steve Burton caught up with the head coach.
Well, joining me now is Patriot head coach Bill Belichick. And you know, this game started out slow for the Patriots, but all of a sudden the defense picked up the offense.
Yeah, we didn't get off to a good start at all. We got to play 60 minutes, so hopefully we can do that here in the second half. Keep playing with some energy and play 30 good minutes of good football.
Cyrus Jones picked you up. It was good to see LeGarrette Blount running the ball.
Yeah, I thought our running backs ran well. We got some extra yards from all those guys, and that always helps the offense. We had a good balance offense, throwing the ball and running the ball, so hopefully we can maintain that. That's the idea.
And Jimmy Garoppolo keeping his poise.
Yeah, well, again, I think offensively we've had our moments. We had a couple bad series in the first quarter, but after that we've been able to have some balance, and we've done a good job.
Coach, good luck to you in the second half.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Steve.
You got it. Bill Belichick, I guess. Let's go back upstairs, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. I thought a key word there was Bill Belichick saying, we had our moments later. And again, a little bit of a slow start as D'Angelo Bentley drops to a knee, and the Patriots will come out and start 1st and 10. And Garoppolo is going to lead him out here to start this second half, Christian.
Yeah, what I like about it is that he was able to work his way out of it. Didn't have the greatest start, 5 of 10, only 42 yards. Second quarter, though, just blew up. 18 of 24, 249 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's a sign that, when things don't go well, how do you respond to it?
Yeah, you see those first 2 games, those numbers, first and second quarter, night and day. And now we get come out of the half. We've heard Belichick talk about this. Go through a halftime and see how you come out. This is the next test for Garoppolo. And not a good start.
That's got to drive you crazy. You know what play you're running.
Start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know what play you're running. You know what the snap count is. And there probably isn't a check with me, right, Chatham? You just listen, we're going to call it and run it. It's going to be on 1. Don't move. Okay.
Wasn't a clock issue either.
No, nobody was panicking. Listen, I can't, be too hard because it's happened to me 100 times, but you just kick yourself for jumping. So now it's 1st and 15, and you just got to go back to the drawing board.
first Pats penalty since the first quarter. Blunt jumps to the outside, has some room. Nearly gets the first down. It'll be close, but a good job there by LeGarrette Blunt in the O-line.
LeGarrette Blunt is having a really good game tonight. And watch the lead block by James Devlin. And again, he goes through there. There's nothing there. So what does he do? Bam, great job right there. The hole closes up. He took a hard left turn to get outside and then has enough burst to cut the corner and get upfield.
He is so good when he doesn't have to make a backfield cut. He got downhill and did the bounce out. It's just there was no internal penetration. That's a big deal for Blunt.
The assist from Devlin. 63 yards on 9 carries for LeGarrette. First down. Garoppolo to Harbor.
First look at Harbor right there. Free agent out of Jacksonville. Working on that third tight end position. Really working against A.J. Derby for that third tight end spot.
Bill Belichick talked a lot about comparing him to James Devlin in our meeting today.
Yeah, he's more. There's the Y and there's an F. There's right now A.J. Derby's got his hand on the ground, so he's the Y, and Harbor's going to be your F. He's going to be the move tight end.
Harbor in motion on second down. Jimmy gets Dobson, another first down.
You can just see that Jimmy Garoppolo is just really feeling it tonight. A great job right there by Dobson after the early drop in the first quarter, first series, really the first throw Garoppolo threw. Nice job getting that route, using the sidelines, getting out of bounds. And he's really good at throwing these out routes, these sideline routes, the go routes, the 9 routes, the down the field throws.
Fake to Blunt. Harbor has some room. 35, pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line, but flag down on the play.
We're going to get Hogan on a hold. Blocking downfield.
Didn't need to either. That was a nice play.
Plenty of room.
Holding. Offense, number 15. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
I don't do this often, Christian, but I'll actually defend the offensive guy there. I think if you get locked up, he gets his hand inside and just puts you away. It's the defender's responsibility to get off the block. If you get hemmed up, you're bad. I mean, you have to get off the block.
Wait, I think I just saw a unicorn. Did you just say you're defending the offensive guy?
I am. You know what? You have to make a definitive move to get away from that. If he's constricted you within your frame, you're bad. Make a play, buddy.
Thursday.
I think generally when you get the pull, when you get the tug, if you start to separate yourself from the blocker, that's a different story. He got his hand inside. That's lockup time.
Thursday, August 18th.
Number 71 is an eligible receiver. 71 is eligible.
41 p.m. Chatham. Defense and offensive player.
Hey, guys, I love the block on special teams. It's kind of the same thing, so I'll defend the whole calls all day long.
It's a lot like special because that's a long block. He's got to hold that block a long time.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, Fourier is going to say something about a defender against the tight end.
Yeah.
Here's Garoppolo, eludes pressure, finds, throws deep. Hogan makes up for the hole.
That's a great way to apologize. Yeah, he's fired up. Get fired up, Hogan. You did. You just made up for that holding call. But watch Fleming right here. Fleming's on the outside. Great job. Tries to go inside. Stays with it. But watch Garoppolo. Sidesteps him, steps up, and hits the receiver in stride. That's a pretty ball right there. Even better catch. Hold on to it now before you get out of bounds.
17-yard line for the Patriots. Their opening drive. Been impressive. Blunt pounds his way down near the 10.
Everything's working so far right now. Everything's working for this offense. The offensive line is just firing off the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage. A nice little mix of downfield throws, play action pass, and running game. And that's really, Hogan's got to be happy right there. Nothing feels worse than having one of your buddies catch a nice long pass, get upfield, and you're responsible for having it called back.
Hogan leaves a hero. I couldn't resist that. Sorry. That's right corny Dan Roach. Sorry. Here's Blunt. Behind his own line, he gets swamped.
You know, that was a good example right there of what Matt just talked about. LeGarrette Blunt having to make a cut behind the line of scrimmage there. He doesn't quite get as much energy, doesn't get as much motion up the field.
He doesn't get to make the decision he wants to make.
No,
the decision is made for you.
Yeah,
right?
It happens quick. And right here, you see a little bit of penetration right there because the guard gets blown up. That's Josh Klein right there. And Stork is getting pushed back also.
John Timo got him. Sets up a 3rd down and 4 on the 11-yard line. Garoppolo takes it from Stork, throws off the hands of the defender, near pick on the play for the Bears by Timo.
That's the first dangerous throw I've seen him make so far. The linebacker did a nice job of really just sitting in his area, not overreacting, not biting on any of the moves that receivers make, and watch him break on it. And really, he should have caught this ball and could have had a chance for 6. Kind of throw that ball behind James White. And even if the linebacker wasn't there, that was an incomplete pass.
Gostkowski in to attempt a 29-yard field goal. And he nails it. Seen it time and time again. Chris Hogan had a hold and then a big catch. He loved it. Patriots were looking for a touchdown, but they get 3. Increase the lead to 9. Well, time now to take a look at the Verizon positional lineup. Tonight we're going to go cornerbacks, and for that we go to our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios, and we bring in Andy Hart. Andy, I have the pleasure, if you call it that, of sitting next to you and Paul for many of these training camp practices, and we talk different things, and one of them is cornerback. Take it away.
And it's really been interesting to see how they've mixed it up on the practice field because you have sort of your 2 known commodities, your starters, even though Logan Ryan's been in the red non-contact shirt. We haven't seen him yet in the preseason. And then after that, it's open auditions. Cyrus Jones, nice interception tonight, 2nd-round pick, going to be given a chance to win a job at least as a depth guy. Justin Coleman, coming off what he did last year late in the season when he was a good player for this defense in limited action, given a chance. And some of these young guys, Jonathan Jones, Cravon LeBlanc, they are making it hard, I think, on these coaches to sort of figure out a pecking order. And I think this isn't just about roster spots, but it's roles. And I think it's going to roll right into September and October. I don't think this will be solidified for a while.
Yeah, I'm curious to see some of the younger guys, too. And Andy mentioned the names, Jones, LeBlanc. Those 2 in particular really liked what they were doing in the spring way back in OTAs. They've had some pretty good moments in camp as well. LeBlanc made a terrific interception last week. I think we're going to probably see a little bit more of them as the second half continues.
LeBlanc in the game right now for the Patriots in their defense. They stop the Bears on 1st down. Jacquizz Rogers on the carry. Ramon Humber with the defense. Matt Chatham, what do you want to see here from these cornerbacks, these young cornerbacks, as they unfold? LeBlanc with a beauty of an interception last week.
Well, one name we didn't say was E.J. Biggers, and when a veteran makes a decision to come to a place like that, in the absence of other veterans, it looks like there may be a clear path. But as Paul and Andy mentioned, a lot of these young guys are playing great, and this Patriots defense, Matt Patricia is not scared to put a young guy right up there with the first group. So the vet has to separate him, or these young guys that cost less can win jobs.
Snyder had a route to Hoyer, but couldn't get him. Hoyer escapes a little bit.
Yeah, he had a free shot at the quarterback, like a kill shot. I just puts his head down at the last minute and Hoyer just wiggles his way out of there.
It's one of the things you see, guys, now when you don't get a lot of live tackling in practice. You get to tag off, and that looked like a tag off. That looked like a practice play. It's really the most important part that matters is that last 10%. Can you get the guy down?
3rd and 8 for the Bears. First possession of their second half. Hoyer throws it behind the intended receiver, Deontay Thompson.
You talk about tackling, Matt. Last week was the first time that the entire team actually did any live tackling. They waited till the very first preseason game to actually get some live tackling to the ground in.
There's E.J. Biggers, the 8th-year player. With Philadelphia last year. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just saying, I think that's why they advocate for keeping the 4 preseason games. You've took away so much of the volume of practices, and practices have become patty cake. I mean, they're not, these scrimmages and inter-squad things are not scrimmages. You're getting to see other looks, but you're doing it at normal practice speed.
Well, the Patriots defense holds. New quarterback when we return. It'll be the Jacoby Brissett show. Patriots lead by 9. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo's night is over. He's got his team in front, 20-11 here in the 3rd quarter. Pretty impressive night after a bit of a slow start for Jimmy G.
No, I thought he did excellent. Actually, after that first series, there was nothing but positives for him. A lot of help from the offensive line, the running game. Had some receivers make some nice catches for him. But overall, a much better performance than last week. And I think that's what you want to see, the progression. You know, how much more can he handle, different situation work.
Now Jacoby Brissett in for the Patriots. They took over 1st and 10. First duty is to hand it off to Tyler Gaffney. He's swarmed by a host of Bears. There's Robert. Jonathan Kraft. Enjoying tonight's game, enjoying tonight's beautiful weather. Perfect night for football. Look at that. That's the way you walk. If you're the owner of a team, Christian, this is the way I walk upstairs.
See, I would take a helicopter.
Yeah, that's you, though.
That would be me.
Robert's a man of the people. See that? You'd helicopter right in. Here's Brissett to Derby near the first down. That's so you, though.
No, I mean, I would.
Robert sat in the stands at the old Foxborough Stadium as a season ticket holder. Jonathan, too. The whole family. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Family, not helicoptering over people and into the seats.
Okay, I won't take a helicopter. You know, this first time, so you got a brand new offensive line. So Garoppolo started the last series after the half, and the only person who was different was Stork at center. Now you got a completely brand new offensive line with Karras at center, and last week he was playing guard.
Third down opportunity for Brissett. And the O. Low snap. Throws down the sideline for Derby, who took a pop. Did he hold on to that? I think he did.
Beautiful catch.
Wow.
Phenomenal catch. Again, in traffic. Brissett just lets this ball fly, and Derby goes up and gets it. He is right here. Actually, no, he's outside. That's him right there. Rubbin using the sideline. Great release. Gives himself enough room to catch the ball. Watch the safety come over late. He knows he's going to get hit. That safety gets a big head of steam. Watch. Great hands. Takes the shot and stays in bounds and secures the catch. Phenomenal job by Derby.
38-yard line, 26 yards on the reception. Brissett running away from traffic. Got it out in the flat to Josefa. He falls out of his hands.
That is just great. You know, and a lot of these catches were being made during these joint practices. Look at the sideline. Look at Matthew Slater right there. They know it's a huge catch. Yeah. Nice job, buddy. Gino Grissom getting in. The entire Deron Harmon.
Hey, guys, it was really a terrific throw by Brissett as well. From the phone book, things that closed around him, he put that where only Derby could make the play.
I love seeing that sideline get excited like that.
Good night for AJ. Second down. Brissett got away from traffic a bit. Gets a couple, but it'll be a loss. It'll set up 3rd and long.
This is one of the things that, you know, Derby's been making some nice plays. But the one area that he's going to have to work on is pass protection, which hopefully they don't have him doing that much because he's more of a move tight end. He's not necessarily a point of attack guy.
Well, how hard is that, Christian? You make a great play, you're all excited, and then, like you said, you got to do something else right away. Bang, right to that next play. Got to forget the previous.
Yeah,
one,
and
right?
he's doing a good job so far, and really all of them need to be having the same mindset.
On 3rd down, Brissett goes complete. Will be short of the first down, though.
Christian, let me ask you a quick question there. It's 3rd and whatever that down and distance was, and he runs the route a yard short. Is he required to take that to first down distance as an error, or may it have just been the route he was supposed to run?
Well, I think there could be a gray area depending on what route was called. But in that situation with a ton of time and a huge opening in the middle, I think he could have stretched it just another extra yard or catch it and then fall forward.
No, they got to go for it here. The up back, Josefa pounds his way down near it. I think he has it. We'll see. He does.
I like the situations that are coming up in this game and the options and the play selection. And just watch him right here follow the ball. Great job right there. Josefa actually gets hit and is able to push his feet forward. Get that first down.
Jonathan Bullard, the rookie from Florida, hit him hard, but he gets it. Now here's Gaffney. Right up behind the line and good yardage. flag, though.
This offensive line, I know their second
Holding.
series.
Offense, number 59. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Got a player down for the Bears. That's Deion Bush, rookie out of Miami. We'll be right back. Oh, there's a good sign. Rookie Deion Bush out of the University of Miami up on his feet as he makes his way towards the sideline. And again, we talk about it time and time again, Christian. All teams come into these games. Health, biggest factor, trying to stay healthy and get through them.
Yeah, it's just, listen, it's a violent game, so bad things are going to happen. And you see guys pull up in practice, walkthroughs, and freak accidents.
I don't know how you felt. I don't know how you felt, Christian, but I like to get those dings because it's a little scary because you don't hit like this in a practice. It's just such a different level. You need to get those bumps and bruises. The violence out here is so much different on the practice field.
After a penalty, the Patriots 1st and 20 on their 37-yard line of the Bears. Brissett gives it to Gaffney. He goes nowhere.
In that situation, you just want to get half of it back right there to try a quick backside draw. Not many calls for Josh McDaniels in this situation.
Late here in the third quarter, Patriots were down 11-0 and storm back with 20 unanswered points. Glad to have you with us here on this Thursday night. Great summer night for football here in New England. Brissett with a fake, little broken play, now runs. It's down. We'll have a long way to go here.
Contact.
In case you're just joining us, Tom Brady did not play tonight. Thought he may, did not. So instead, Jimmy Garoppolo took over, and again, we saw a bit of a slow start, but then really picked it up with some nice throws. And Patriots defense has been okay too. No turnovers this week, but forcing turnovers, but they've done a good job as well.
Yeah, a lot of competitions going out in the field.
We're set on third down, dump to Gaffney, swarmed by defenders. Does a nice job getting away. See if he can stay on his feet. Trying for yardage, but couldn't get it, and it'll be 4th down, and Patriots will try to add to their lead.
Not the best series for the offense, but at least they battled back, and a nice run right there by Tyler Gaffney. Really showing that he belongs in this offense. I mean, he's got a good burst, he's got good vision. They use him in the screen game.
Comes Mr. Automatic, pretty much 87% career on his field goals. Please don't jinx me. And it's good. Sorry, Steve. Didn't want to do that to you. Patriots add to their lead. We'll return. Stay with us.
Let's go out here and do our thing, man. You got a chance to make a play, let's shine. We all gonna shine. Shine on 3. 1, 2, 3, shine.
Let's go pulling together, huh? Let's go.
Good job on those rush lanes. He's looking to scramble now. Cover 5, that's a scramble coverage. Once he sees everybody covered, same thing with 7, right?
Well, here's the key to our business. Those microphones. They're all over the place, picking up the Bose sounds of the game. Cover 5, cover 7, listening to Bill. Gets me fired up for football here, Christian. Makes me want to hit somebody.
Come on now. I mean, are you serious?
No. Here's the kickoff from Gostkowski. Kieran Duncan. Still on his feet. Down about the 15-yard line. We'll see some Patriots D. As the Patriots offense has done its job, we'll see if the D can help. It's Friday. The Patriots will venture down to Cam Newton territory. We'll be at the Carolina Panthers for our 8th ticket next game. Superman and company as we have some fun in your old neighborhood.
Well, yeah, my old neighborhood for like 4 months, but more importantly, barbecue. Barbecue dinner. So, any recommendations, any ideas? Some pulled pork, maybe some ribs.
And who could forget when the Patriots beat them in that 2003 Super Bowl? You guys were pretty good back then. Tell you what, these guys will be ready next week, Christian. Yeah.
That's a couple good series right there. Josh McDaniels, offensive corner's got to be happy with the progression and the development of Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, the key is, and there's Jacoby Brissett, backup quarterback. That's your backup quarterback for 4 weeks. So these are important reps for him as well.
We're talking so much of the offense. The Bears haven't had a first down since the first quarter. Brian Hoyer at the helm, the former Patriot. Throws incomplete. Darryl Roberts on the coverage.
And that is a long throw for Brian Hoyer. A lot of bad things can happen in Roberts, just like Malcolm Butler earlier in the game. Here he is right there. Nice job pressing. Reacts straight for it, but that's such a long throw and gets his paw in there and knocks the ball away. Watch it right there. That's perfect. That's great technique right there. You're not going to tackle him, but just knock that ball out of his hands.
3rd and 8. Time winding down here in the third quarter. Hoyer. Incomplete again.
Same play.
Same tandem, yeah. Thompson and Roberts.
And the Patriots bring a blitz, and the Chicago Bears pick it up. But it's basically the same route. Outside leverage, turns it inside. That's just a bad throw.
Matt Chatham, Darryl Roberts. Again, one of those cornerbacks got hurt in camp last year, trying to make this team somehow anyway.
Yeah, he's a name we forget about. He had some really great plays a year ago, some time where he had some momentum. Seems to be gaining a little bit of that back this game.
Kid out of Marshall, and here's Harper. At his own 25. He's got about 15 yards. Set up another chance for Jacoby Brissett in this Patriots offense. All right, speaking of offense, guys, let's talk a little bit about the PUP. We hear so much about the PUP, the physically unable to perform list. These guys are still on it. They're not off it by week 1. They're on it for 6 weeks. And let's bring in Andy Hart downstairs. Andy, what do you think?
You know, I think it's interesting when you look at that list and at the point we're at in the preseason process here. Training camp is now closed to the public. We're kind of moving into the next phase here. 2 preseason games basically under your belt. You know, all of a sudden there's roster cuts around the corner in that last game. And Dion Lewis, Danny Amendola, 2 guys who you think are probably one of your top 4 or 5 offensive weapons, haven't been out there. And Amendola is the one that worries me the most, which is weird because he's actually been out on the practice field. Dion Lewis, we saw in the spring, I think he's coming back at a certain rate, and that's fine. But Amendola was running routes for a while, and then all of a sudden, the last week or so, he's only been out there watching. He's been throwing to other guys running routes, and my fear is that there was some sort of setback there, and I wonder what his situation is.
And I'd be curious from the guys, you know, Matt and Christian, you know, at what point do you get in this stage in the preseason where you sort of got to draw a line with those guys on PUP, and it's a legitimate possibility they're going to open the regular season there?
They're set with the incompletion.
Well, to answer that question, Paul, I think we're there, quite frankly. Usually as a player, and I've been through this where I started a camp on PUP, usually that line in the sand is after the second preseason game because they want you to have the run-up to real action. So it does depend upon the position.
And the player.
And the player, exactly. In the example, though, of Trey Jackson, you know, Trey Jackson could have walk out without live pass rush, without live one-on-one, live blocking, be plugged in on day one? Probably not. Could Danny Amendola run routes in the side and get himself ready? Quite possibly.
Here's Brissett on 3rd down, rushed and sacked. Jonathan Bullard in for the Bears. When you look at the numbers, we talked about the PUP list. Here you go, some of the dates ahead for us. The August 30th is that first one that you circle when they get down to 75, and then, of course, the big one, September 3rd, when it's down to 53, and a lot of depth questions still to be, you know, figured out here for this Patriots team.
Yeah, and they put a lot of work in over the last, 3 weeks or so. Two joint practices, one with the Saints this week with the Bears. So the coaches have really gotten a lot of opportunities to see a bunch of players in a bunch of different situations.
Daniel Braverman is wrapped up Good job by the special teams unit, the punting unit, punt coverage for the Patriots.
Even more importantly, look at all these coaches. You've had the Saints come in and they've watched the Patriots play. You have the Chicago Bears. They've been here watching some of these players. A lot of these guys, they may get cut from this team, and maybe the Bears see something that they like during a joint practice. They say, you know what, this guy can make our team. We need him. Maybe they have some injuries. They have great intel, firsthand, boots on the ground intel for some of these players.
Well, and as Andy and Paul touched upon, there's such a deep group of young guys battling for these corner spots. The one that covers better might be the guy that wins that 5th or 6th job in special teams. Excuse me.
Bears. Jordan Howard, rookie out of Indiana, on the carry. Humber on the stop for the Patriots as we wind down time here in that third quarter. First down for the Bears since the first quarter.
Yeah, they're just going to give up on it and let the clock run out. And take a nice stroll down to the other side of the field.
That'll do it. We've got fourth quarter action. Much more to discuss. Stay with us. We'll talk about Butler, the defense, and those Patriots when we return.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Gillette, official shave of the New England Patriots. By Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Welcome back as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Bears with the football, 1st and 10. Their own 27-yard line. Patriots up by 12 as we begin the fourth. There's Jordan Howard, the rookie, carry for Chicago. Snyder, Roberts, Humble in on the stop.
You know, a lot of guys we're going to see right now. Jordan Richards in the game. Second year out of Stanford. Played some significant time last year, but this year playing a more of an important role, getting more time on the field.
Here's the Bears on second down. Howard gets near that first down. We'll have to wait and see. I think one of the things we've talked about in the past is linebacker depth. You know, behind Collins, Hightower, and Jonathan Freeney. And it's still up for grabs here. You've got Humber, Roberts, Snyder, Grugier, Hill, and King. Let's bring in Andy and Paul. Gentlemen, what do you look at behind the linebacking crew and how many guys they'll possibly keep?
Well, Roche, quite honestly, it's a pretty thin position, and I think we've seen them somewhat try to manufacture some depth there. We saw Ninkovich playing linebacker throughout the spring and off the line right next to Collins and Hightower rotating through. Shea McClellan, that's what he did last year with the Bears. That's where he sort of came into his own in Chicago when he came off the line and was more of a traditional linebacker. You know, Freeney's a guy, I think he played more than is probably ideal last year when they brought him in, and I think they'd like to have a little more depth, a little more versatility, but there's not a lot there unless you're really willing to go with a Landon Roberts or one of these really young guys that I think are kind of limited at this point.
Yeah, the two guys that I would really have my eye on, the two rookies, and Andy mentioned Roberts, Grugier Hill's another one. Two smaller guys, very athletic, good mobility, and I think guys that Coach Belichick is probably looking to try to find spots. They can play in the kicking game, but can you find a role for them on defense?
Number 78, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Yeah, Bill talked about Grugier Hill this afternoon. He said it's kind of like Brandon King, you know, and I think, Christian, you asked him if can he get up that weight, 240-ish. He said no, he's 215, 220, more third and fourth down guy. Can help in the kicking game. And he's been, doing a lot of good things, more interceptions than anyone else in camp. So he's a guy that has Bill's eyes, finding a spot for him with this team.
Oh, they have him listed at 6'2", 220. Now, he may be 220 soaking wet. He's probably more closer to 210.
For him, 1st and 15, he's going to go deep. That's incomplete. Matt Chatham, what makes a linebacker, catch the eye and stay when it comes to what Bill Belichick is looking for?
To be honest, Rochi, it's a different world than when I was here because there are so many of those tweener bodies on the roster. When I was doing this, there might be 2 or 3 of us, and we sort of made up the backup group, had to be able to play all 4 of the 4 linebacker positions and play special teams. Now, half the starters are also that tweener body type. The Chris Longs, the Sheards, these guys all sit in that realm where in a pinch they could be 3-4 outside linebackers or Sams in a 4-3. They've got a lot of different body types now on the team than they did when I played. Rob Ninkovich is a linebacker, is a defensive end in a pinch. He's really either, so they've got the flexibility to do a lot of things with a lot of different people.
Joshua Bellamy with that reception. Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator. Paul and Andy, we've seen times at training camp where, Bill will have 2 down linemen and then, all the 9 rest of them all back, all running all over the place. So a lot of versatility. We talked about it, and I think it's a good point. Ninkovich could be that linebacker. Chris Long, in some ways, too, could be that same type of player.
There's certainly versatility, but there's also some scheming that's going on there. You're not putting Grugier Hill in the game and saying you're doing the same thing as Dante Hightower, or you're doing the same thing as not covering this guy who's about to go for a touchdown.
A big reception from Rob Hausler. You don't like to see that over the middle.
But, Mike, you have those guys up front where you're looking at athletes in Collins and Hightower that are, 260 pounds, 6'4". Grugier Hill can't do the same things that they can do, but if you pick your spots and a lot of personnel groups, a lot of matching of what the offense is doing in terms of personnel groups, doesn't mean you can't get good quality reps out of some of those guys. It's just different.
Yeah, a lot of those guys with the versatility that Matt was talking about, they really confuse offenses, and I think that's what Belichick is looking for, is different guys to use in different ways.
52 yards from Hoyer to Hausler as the Bears try to get some points back.
Andy touched on it. I think it's a pretty good point. The idea that the body weight thing is really what you should pay attention to. I think sometimes we get drawn into looking at the jersey number. The 50s are all the linebackers, the 90s are all the ends. It really doesn't work that way. You're looking here at Trey Flowers. He's 6'2", 260. The guy standing behind him, 6'4", 260. That's the air quotes linebacker, and the other guys at the end. They really all can play the same position, so it's just not a traditional model anymore.
Yeah, you're not going to see the Levon Kirklands of the world anymore.
Right. And he's definitely not putting his hand down and rushing an edge.
Second and goal at the 5. Chance for the Pats defense to step up. Humber did. Got a little bit of help.
Elvin Roberts with a nice job shooting the gap, getting his hand in there, slowing down the back.
There's Jordan Howard. Rufus Johnson also in on the play for the Patriots. Sets up a 3rd and goal. I think it's interesting, too, to watch guys like Geno Grissom. We talked to him yesterday. Talk about intense. Well,
I
was afraid of him just talking
Here we
to him.
go.
Well, it's you scare people.
He does.
Luckily, his good friend Trey Flowers is there, so they were able to kind of tag team you.
Who peas the pod?
3rd and goal. Hoyer. Time. Plenty of time. Just throws it away, though. Good coverage by the Pats D.
Hoyer looks.
Landon Roberts in on the play.
Hoyer does a nice job trying to extend this play, but everybody's covered. Here comes Jonathan Jones. He's got him. They got 2 on the corner route, trying to fight for an open position, but there you go. Nothing. You got nada.
One name, guys, that we hadn't touched on much. This week, it was a lot of Anthony Johnson talk. A week ago, Rufus Johnson, number 59. He's out here now, and I think he's another one of those tweener body types that has a chance if he continues to make plays.
See what the Pats D can do on 4th and goal. We get a timeout from Hoyer. He wants to talk
Charge
things
timeout.
over
Chicago.
with his head coach, John Fox.
It will be 30 seconds.
We're talking about the challenge here for this Patriots D. Now, the situational thing that you don't get in these joint practices, you get them with the first unit, but these are guys, again, trying to make an impression.
Yeah, and live tackling, too. You know that the offense knows now that you can smack them. You can hit them. You come across the middle, then you're going to have to pay for it. And these joint practices, you can go ahead. They're just going to let you catch the ball. They're going to tag off on you and let you just run your route. But you saw a bunch of plays during the joint practice where guys were catching the ball, but the other team, the Chicago Bears, were high-fiving because they know they would have knocked the receiver out.
You aren't even allowed to buck them. They pop through the line. You got to tag off, Christian. It's a different world.
Anthony Johnson comes in for Knighton. He's had a good night so far on D. Here we go. 4th and goal. Boyer looks. Lobs into the end zone, incomplete. Over the hands of Joshua Bellamy, the Patriots D holds, and they'll take over 1st and 10 when we return. Take a look. Boyer looked for some room, looking good coverage again by the Pats secondary.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Dan Roach to a Cape Cod baseball game. Oh!
It's Revenge of the Sports Hub nerds, and so's going down. Haven't you heard? It's Dan Roach!
Yeah.
In fuego. Here's your cape.
Highlight of my career
there
right there, bud. Thank you very much.
There you go. You're perfect.
Oh, gosh. Right,
Straight out of Andover.
You got it. You know what it's like.
Perfect.
Where's my man Zoe? You need a shot of Zoe here as the Patriots, we get a little penalty. You know, remember last year now. Hey, Zoe, I got a message for you, too. Let's take a look at that one as well.
False start. Offense, number 83. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That was a lot of fun.
It's so bright outside. I should put my glasses, my sunglasses on.
My wife, we left the 10th anniversary party for Toucher and Rich on 98.5 The Sports Hub, and it was all a rap. Those that are wondering, it's just a friendly rap competition amongst all the talent at the station. It's a lot of fun. But we left, and my wife said, "You were pathetic and funny at the same time." As the ball was incomplete to Devin Lucien. So I gave it my all.
You did. Watch Devin Lucien right here.
He's got better moves than I do.
No, I don't know. I think you underestimate how good you are. I mean, I didn't see you dance. I saw the white man overbite. So that was in major effect right there.
Actually, you know what made my week? When we talked to Trey Flowers, he had heard us rap his touchdown.
That's right. He was very excited.
Yeah.
A lot of people heard about that rap.
He thought
I
I
think you should try to do it again right now. I think this is another opportunity. Second and 11. Probably going to be a run play, though. I'm going to take a time. I want you to. I think you should wrap us to commercial break. The next commercial break we have. You should wrap us to a commercial break. It's a possible break right now, so you might be able to do it. Here you go.
Oh, we're going to break, for heaven's sake. We'll see what happens when we return. Brissett, can he get a touchdown?
Stop.
We'll let you know. Hey, Zo.
There you go. Now, listen, take notes right now. You're really not moving your whole body, right? Just a little bit. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Move your head every now and then. Eye contact is huge. You can't see his. But if you're dancing, there you go. Bring it down a little bit lower. And that's it. Just a little bit of taste. Now, he's trying it also. But that's more your style right there. I mean, I don't know if he's sleeping or not. Is that it? At least you commit to it. I like the fact that you commit to it.
All right, let's get back.
No matter what we ask, you know what? Listen, there's a lot of games going on this week, but this is the only telecast where not only do you get dancing, you get rapping. What else do you need?
I think the gold quote of the week has been Roachy just continuing to tell people, "Hey, I want to rap. I want to rap. I want to rap."
And nobody knows what he's talking about. I want to rap. What type of rap?
I want to rap.
It meant a lot. Can't you tell, fellas? Look at Brissett.
Bounce again. Right idea. Just let him a little bit too much. Now not from on the sideline.
What's he doing there, Christian? Obviously, Lucien trying to connect.
He's trying. It's the second time he's done this in this series. He just needs a little bit more room. Lucien, the ball just takes him outside. He really doesn't have a chance to keep his feet in bounds. But I like the fact that Brissett is chucking it down the field.
Yeah, and I remember Bill Belichick early in camp working with Brissett, that over-the-shoulder catch, corner end zone, all things you learn as a rookie. Trying to get better at it. We got a flag on the play on the punt return for the Bears. Here at Duncan.
And the thing with Brissett is he's got a cannon for an arm. He can throw the football downfield. It's just, can he take some of the sauce off of it when he's throwing those intermediate routes and those short hook routes and return routes?
Let you know what Bill Belichick said about Brissett when we talked to him earlier. We'll get the call here from Brad Allen and then get settled.
The player of the kicking team, number 48, went out of bounds on his own. That 5-yard penalty will be administered from the dead ball spot. First down, timeout.
So I should probably wrap us out of this space right here. There you go. These are all your fans. These are all your people right there. There you go. Got some pom-poms. This guy is a loser. I don't care. That's why he's got shades on, because he's crying. And there's our winner right there. My man, Roche.
Hey, welcome back. Our Pepsi close-up. How about Cyrus Jones? He had a fumble recovery last week, interception this week. He's been all over the football field. He is our Pepsi close-up player of the game. Cyrus Jones getting it done. Let's go back upstairs, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. We'll see you on our fifth quarter post-game show as the Bears take over 1st and 10 in Patriots territory. Jacquizz Rodgers on the carry. You know, interesting coming into that play, Christian. Patriots allowed 11 points in the first quarter, since none. Total yards allowed 138 in the first quarter. Since then, just 91. And you add a couple of yards there for the run. But again, the defense really clamped down on the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has done a nice job just really limiting the damage. And the Bears had a decent opportunity over the last series. Right there, down on the goal line, and had 2 passing plays and couldn't get anything. Great coverage by the defense, not allowing Hoyer to find any open lanes.
Rodgers again. He's hit hard. Initial impact by Curse.
I know that was a good job by Richards coming up, making the tackle. But again, I talk about this with you, Matt, all the time, because I'm really just impressed with how well not only the Patriots, but just how well they teach these outside linebackers, edge defenders like Geno Grissom right there, who really did a great job, hands in the chest of the blocker, funneling everything inside, allowing other guys to make the play.
Got to play with a really strong post arm. You got to get that thing out and extended, walk the shoulder blade back. Edge is your job. That's what you do.
Third down, Hoyer. Throws deep, has his man. And it's caught around the 20-yard line. Joshua Bellamy on the reception, Jordan Richards on the cover.
And Jordan Richards, here he is. You see him, he's going to take a nice little bunch route. He's been doing a good job in run defense, but then the receiver gets behind him and he's just chasing.
23 yards on the play.
Didn't quite identify it as quickly as he should have. Wasn't sure if he knew who he had.
Rodgers on the carry.
Geno Grissom, I know I keep calling his name,
Howard,
but he's doing a great job just destroying this tackle. He's having a tough time disengaging, though, but he is pushing this tackle back into the backfield.
Guys, one person we haven't talked much about is Ramon not Humber, but where's my name here? The young linebacker out of Houston. I'm blanking on the name right now, but he got a lot of love from the sideline over here.
Landon Roberts.
Landon Roberts, there you go. He's been flowing really well, striking these bigger guards and tackles quite hard. He seemed to have a real nose for the football. That's the kind of guy that could be in competition for one of those sub-linebacker spots.
Break up by Roberts. Bellamy with the attempt. And you look at these guys like Roberts. You look at what Matt Chatham just said. The linebacker, too. A kid out of Houston, what he's trying to accomplish here in the Landon Roberts. But all these guys trying to make an impression, and we tend to forget them, Christian, but they can come back. Even if we see them go to the practice squad, they can come back and help a team. The best example of all ever is maybe Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, of course. And, another guys that are in that same category, guys like Jonathan Jones, undrafted rookie out of Auburn. Tons of speed, showing up a lot in camp and in practice.
Third down, there's a batted ball.
And there's Rufus Johnson right there.
Yep.
So far the guys that are standing out are just Rufus Johnson, Anthony Johnson.
It's tough to keep eyeballs on 11 people. I think all three of us understand that. But Landon Roberts, each time I've watched him come off the field, the position coaches have been in his ear and then patting him on the head. It's usually a great sign that whatever it is he's being asked to execute, he's doing it.
Robbie Gould is going to come in. Attempt a 36-yard field goal. Try to cut the lead to 8. It's up, and it is good. Ways to go here. We'll come back. Pat Stevens does a nice job holding them to 3. Brissett in the offense when we return. By CarMax, and for that we go to the tight end position, and a name that just keeps coming up. A.J. Derby. He's been outstanding all camp long. 6 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown tonight. Let's bring in Andy Hart. Andy, what do you think?
Rochi, it goes back to the spring. Derby has flashed on the practice field in spring workouts, on the practice field in training camp, and now 2 weeks in a row in the game field. I may have been a little harsh last week saying I didn't think he was going to make the roster. He's certainly going to make it tough on these coaches, and it comes down, I think, to just a numbers game and a role. We saw a lot of Cameron Fleming as the extra tight end blocking tonight. If they go that route and say, you know what, we don't really need a third tight end who's a big blocker, then I think A.J. Derby has a great chance here. There's always the question of money with Clay Harbor, the overlap with James Devlin, but he's making it hard, and the more balls he catches in the preseason, less likely it is you can slide him through to the practice squad.
Yeah, and a lot of catches that he's made are just like the ones he's made tonight, in traffic, showing strong hands, ability to rip the ball away and keep it. The one on the sideline tonight was outstanding. We've seen some of that during training camp. I like him better than Clay Harbor. I know that Harbor is a similar kind of guy. Christian talked about him earlier, a guy who's moving around a little bit. I see the athleticism with Derby. I see the hands. He's a young guy. I think he's worth keeping and worth developing.
Well, Derby making it a tough race when it comes to the tight end competition.
The thing with Derby is just how physical can he be. That move tight end is going to have to get out there and get into the backfield and establish himself as a fullback. Move tight end, the wham blocks on the defensive tackles. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the most physical guy. He can still gain some more strength, but that's what his role is going to have to be. Harbor's done that. He's done that in Jacksonville, so we know he can do it. He's been hurt for a while, so you haven't seen him too much, but he showed up a little bit tonight. He just needs some more opportunities.
You just can't be a liability, Christian. Linebackers pick those guys out. The light-butted tight end that you can knock back. So if you can be out there and be a positive factor, you're an asset. And Paul and Andy hit on it. This guy's made some special plays in the passing game. That's one half of earning that role.
Yeah, and again, if something happens to one of the tight ends and you need to fill that void, you don't want to have to put Cameron Fleming in as another tight end. There's no threat there. That's a donkey route. If he goes in and he goes out for a play, for a pass, they know they're not going to cover.
It's so much information for the defense, Christian, yes.
Well, Andy and Paul, as we get ready to say goodnight to both of you, Gronk and Bennett have been the talk, but, as they both said, this is an important guy. Derby, Harbor, whoever it ends up being, helping out with this team and adding depth to that tight end position.
Yeah, there's no question, and we all know that Gronk, his health history, he's already a little dinged up now, so yeah, that third tight end all of a sudden becomes your second tight end, and I really do think it comes down to the blocking. We saw a couple examples with Derby on the goal line tonight, consecutive plays. They basically went 4 tight ends with Devlin and then 3 tight ends. He made a nice block down on one play for the Blunt touchdown, 2-point conversion. He didn't block quite as well, so obviously former quarterback, the blocking is a work in progress.
Yeah, and one of the things that we saw a little bit this week with some of the jumbo packages, we saw it a little bit on the goal line early in the game tonight, and they weren't overly successful. And I also thought it was interesting that Bear Pasco was not involved in that in the first half. Now, he's obviously a blocking tight end. That's all he is. And we haven't seen a ton of him tonight in those situations. So I wonder if maybe Bill Belichick knows exactly what he has in a guy like Pasco, and he's looking for some of these younger guys and see if they can do different things.
All right, Paul and Andy, great job. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a good week. We'll see you next week down in Carolina. We'll be in Carolina. You'll be up here. We'll be eating barbecue. You'll be up here.
And we'll be bowing down to the King O Rap.
Absolutely.
No, I think I'm good and done. So thank you very much. Take care, fellas.
All right, guys.
All right, we just saw Stephen Shoy, another tight end, kid out of Vanderbilt, make a catch there on the play from Brissett. And there he is again, looking like he's close to another first down. And Christian, look at the numbers. Derby, Harbor, Pasco, Shoy, Bryce Williams, who's got banged up a little bit, but he's had a pretty good camp as well. You look at that depth chart, there's some players there. Maybe, a guy like Shoy, we just saw the 2 receptions, goes to the practice squad. But again, all guys that are valuable with Gronk and Bennett right there.
And really, the most important thing is whoever that third guy is, he's really going to have to know the F, the Y, all the multiple positions that he's going to have to play and the roles that go along with that. Be interchangeable, not only be able to sit there and set the edge, but also go out for passes, for routes.
There's Brissett looking deep for Lucien again. Oh, and he dropped it.
Got away with a push-off, too, there at the last minute that the refs didn't see. But a beautiful pass by Brissett. Hits him in stride. That's going to hurt him a little bit when he sees that on film, because that was a pretty pass.
We got a flag down on the play. Yeah, I think he saw what you saw, Christian.
Pass interference, offense, number 16. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
He really didn't even need to put the hand in there. Here you see him. He's going to run the route. He's going to run a go route. Watch him put his right hand up at the last second. Yeah, just to gain a little bit of separation. Maybe it slows him down and moves his eyes off the football, but watch it again right here. Doesn't matter if he catches or not. The ball's coming back either way. And Brissett, we know he put it right there in his breadbasket. No need to put the arm out there. There it is. Nope. That's a nice throw there.
Well, the one thing we've seen from Brissett is the ability to throw the ball. He's got a good arm. Bill was saying today he's progressing, nothing bad, athletic, smart, understanding of the game.
Charge timeout. New England, they're second, and it will be 30 seconds.
The go routes, the nines, the flag routes, the seam routes, all these guys can make these throws. All of them. We saw Garoppolo his first year. He made that 9 route, throwing it all the time. They can make those throws, strong arms. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is these third down situational looks. You just got to take a little juice off the ball. I mean, the guy's going to be open. You're going to run shorter routes. The ball's got to be out quicker. Do you have any indecision with it? Are you seeing ghosts? Do you know exactly what's going on with the defense? Is somebody trying to bait you? You saw that happen to Garoppolo earlier in the game. Didn't get intercepted. It sure did look scary.
Now 1st and 20 for Brissett and company. Time winding down in the 4th quarter. Gaffney on the carry. He'll get a few. The one thing too, we always talk about the quarterback and adjusting to the game and everything else. And I was asking Bill Belichick about the rookie linemen, the Karrases of the world, and the Toonies and everything else. And he said the difference, college to the pros, is the passing game, the intermediate passing game, understanding pass block protections. That goes along with maybe the quarterbacks too, understanding how hard, where to throw the ball, exactly to take off the speed of the velocity. Things don't go hand in hand with that too. There's a little short throw to Gaffney. He goes nowhere.
What you really asked him, you asked him about one of his old college roommates. I think that's what you asked him. That really got the weirdest response. It's his buddy Juice. I mean, I know you're trying to break the ice, and, there's maybe some tension there in the room. We're doing our interviews, but it was a good try. I mean, you have this so much confidence now since you won this rap battle that you'll do anything. You don't care. He's speechless now, Matt. He doesn't want to say anything.
Brochi unleashed.
Yeah.
Really, Bellis? Here's Brissett on 3rd down. Avoids pressure, now just going to run. Still on his feet, and he goes down. But again, all things that Brissett learns along the way here as he gets playing time. And this leads you, Christian and Matt, as we we'll talk more about this and probably in game 3 and 4, is at the quarterback position behind Brady and Garoppolo. There's Juice, by the way.
That's Juice. That's the guy giving Juice.
That's just fine.
Hey, did you go out and buy a motorcycle after you won that rap battle? Pair of boots, some Spurs. Do you go Spurs?
Does the motorcycle have a sidecar? Do you wear goggles?
Do you wear a helmet?
There's another flag.
Just ride in New Hampshire. Live free or die.
Here from my friend Brad Allen.
I mean, now you've
tried to make a point. I'm not going to.
You've set the tone now.
Good luck to you and take it home.
Was on infraction. Number 43, defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
You can't go backwards now. Now this is street. This is Dan Roach. Ruthless. Dan Roach is straight out of Andover. Wow! Don't go there after 9 o'clock at night.
I'm so glad that the 98-mile rap contest is over, and I'm trying to get on with my life, and you fellas won't let me. The Bears will have the ball.
I mean, does your son know how cool you are now? I mean, now what are you going to do? Like after this is the best thing that's ever happened to you.
No, it isn't.
I mean, you have two kids.
No, it's not.
You have
it's
two
not
kids,
the best
and all
thing.
you keep talking about is this rap battle.
I did wake up.
You don't even acknowledge your son anymore.
I did wake up the next morning, and my wife and 2 kids were in the kitchen. I was going out to come to Patriots camp, and I said, "Do you guys have any idea
how cool your dad is?
No, what it's like to wake up the day after winning the 98-mile rap. Do you have any idea what that feeling is?"
Probably all
they don't.
Said no.
Nobody does.
All I know is that it must be really cool to be you. Who's cooler than Dan Roach?
Injury on the play. Bear defender. Offensive player for the Bears. Deontay Thompson has hope he's okay. The answer to that is, by the way, going back to being a dad. That's all I want to do, okay? Don't forget, next week, Friday night, we got some Friday night football for you down in Carolina. The Patriots and the Panthers. Luke Kuechly, Olsen, Cam Newton.
Kelvin Benjamin coming
Friday
back.
Night Lights.
Wide receiver.
And again, we talk about that third game, how important it is in the preseason, and another progression for Jimmy Garoppolo. Will we see Tom Brady? Did not play tonight.
You know, they didn't blitz a ton, but the most they brought was one guy deep. But I wonder if, Carolina Panthers, are they going to use this opportunity to really kind of challenge Garoppolo, see how much movement he can handle and how quickly he can handle it.
Good point, Christian. I think is all the positive signs we saw from Jimmy in the last couple of weeks. I love the grit. You touched on that earlier. A lot of the good things he did followed a mistake. That's a great sign for a young quarterback. But he's going to be challenged next week. One of the best front sevens in all of the NFL. So he's going to get movement. He's going to get really active tackles. There's going to be things going on in his lap. He's going to have a very rangy middle linebacker all over the field that he has to keep an eye on and not throw one away. So it's going to be a great challenge. All you could really ask for as you head into this regular season.
Deontay Thompson comes over to the sidelines on his own power. Let's hope he's okay. We head towards the 2-minute warning in this one. Connor Shaw in at quarterback. Jordan Howard with the run for the Bears. We're at the 2-minute warning.
We're not really looking for this. It's a good try. It's a good try. That's what we're talking about right now. That is the Revenge of the Nerds shirt right there. We'll be right back. More Rochi.
Just under 2 to go here in Foxborough. Been a good night for the Patriots and their fans. Pats in front, 23-14. Time now for the drive of the game. Brought to you by Toyota Tundra. Here he goes.
Gets to start off with A.J. Derby right before the half. 2-minute drill. Doesn't get out of bounds, but that's all right. Going to give it to Hogan. Get to see a little bit of Hogan in his first little stint playing for the Pats. Again, A.J. Derby sitting up right in the middle, getting reacquainted. And look at this big catch right there by Derby. 2 defenders. He's fired up. He's happy. Caps it off. Spike it. There you go. Having a great camp so far. Really gaining the trust of Jimmy Garoppolo. And whenever you see, if you really want to know the smart players, the smart receivers who want the football, if you watch A.J. Derby, he's following Jimmy Garoppolo around. Stand around him as much as possible. In meetings, sit right behind him. If he asks you, would you be open on this? You say yes, even if you're not.
I'm sure A.J. Derby will be right behind Jimmy Garoppolo in his post-game press conference. Stay tuned for Toyota post-game report. We'll recap tonight's game. Much more all coming up in just a few minutes as the Patriots and Bears wind down preseason game number 2 here at Gillette Stadium.
I know this is down radar stuff, but Rufus Johnson just keeps making plays. Does a great job with his length of pressing tackles, guards falling off, and still making tackles.
Connor Shaw.
Oh, great tackle. Great open field tackle on a quick little screen.
That's Crevon LeBlanc, who had the nice interception last week.
He got there so quick, the receiver had no time to make any moves whatsoever.
You know what's interesting, too, is you hear names. You know, Matt just mentioned Rufus Johnson, LeBlanc. That's the other thing, too, is guys, as we watch practice even, Christian, names keep popping up. Shaw runs away from the pressure, and we get a flag down on the play.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference as the ball was never thrown. No foul.
When you're in training camp, and obviously you establish yourself early and you had a fine career, but when you start to watch other guys, what's it like to see names appear, Johnsons, those types of players, Grissom, they won't go away. Do you kind of know and get a sense, well, this guy belongs here?
Well, you just like to see the hard work rewarded. Right. That's what I like to see. You like to see guys who are working hard, really doing the right, saying the right thing. You know, their effort and all the work that they put in during the offseason is showing, and it's proved that they got what it's taken. They're committed to getting better.
There's Shaw on 4th down.
Johnson again.
Yeah, chased by Johnson, but they get the completion. B.J. Daniels on the reception, and we got another flag on the play.
And Johnson, he just missed just knocking out Shaw on that play. Shaw got rid of the ball just in time.
That's perfect.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 27, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Darryl Roberts on the infraction, but here's the quarterback being chased.
No, he's just working his hands. He just cut the tackle, just pushes him right into it. Another second, and he's there. Watch how quickly he gets off. Looks like Ben Johnson getting out of his stance right there. The little, just hopping right out of his stance.
Chris Johnson out of Tarleton State. 15.5 sacks in his college career in 2 years. Incomplete. Shaw on the attempt. 56 left to go here.
You really hope that the coaching staff doesn't punish, and I doubt they do or hold it against him. Darryl Roberts is in a fight, and that was, in my view, a great play. He got the personal foul for that, but he went low, led with shoulder, not head, hit him around the waist. I mean, I know he's in a vulnerable position, but you have to tackle. It's tackle football. I think the young man did a nice job. I think it's unfortunate he got a flag.
Don't forget the Toyota postgame show coming right up. A little miscommunication there for Shaw. His receiver, Darren Peterson. Love to Jimmy, and I think Patriots fans.
A lot of Jimmy fans.
Yeah, well, he looks like Aladdin.
Well, I mean, yes. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
I mean, Aladdin's a good
one of my favorite movies
guy
of all time.
Or Danny LaRusso from The Karate Kid. So that one kind of sticks too.
A little bit. More Aladdin.
Sweep the leg.
You know?
No?
Do you trust me? A whole new world. Jordan Howard of the carry. Don't you dare close your eyes. Now that's my kind of rap, you know? That's what I'll take. Little animation.
You know, if I was you, I would retire now. I would retire now. It's only going to get worse for you.
Costanza, go out on top.
Yes. Thank you very much. End with your best joke. Leave the room.
Leave the room, buddy.
Leave them wanting more.
I can tell you firmly after the other night, nobody wanted more. There's Shaw with a nice dive for the first down. Some effort in the final seconds from him. Time winding down. Shaw's going to call a quick timeout. Patriots gassing. You know, that's one thing that we learned from
Charge timeout. Chicago.
Gino
second, it will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 9 seconds.
Talked about
Thank you.
how gassed he was at the end of that game. That's something else you'll learn too, is the pace of playing in the NFL.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of reps, especially in the second half. And they've been trying to speed it up. Hoyer, Shaw, both those guys for the Bears have been trying to push the football down the field. And he's blitzing every single time.
Will this be the final play? Nope.
Charge timeout. New England. It will be 30 seconds.
Just resetting. Yeah, doesn't Bill know the Toyota post-game report's just ahead in the fifth quarter?
Yes.
Right? Chris Long wants to go see his son.
His dad's in town.
Yeah.
His brother. Before his brother gets on the bus and goes home.
We all want to see Steve Burton.
Yes. His bright red shirt or whatever color that is.
Yeah, he looked like a pylon.
Should be directing traffic at the airport.
A couple of years ago, it was you and your nephew. Tonight, it was
That's
the Long
right.
brothers.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Oh, I loved it.
Make it hurt a little bit.
All right, here's Shaw. Complete.
Time for one more play.
Yep. Darren Peterson out of Liberty, pushed out of bounds by Darryl Roberts.
Well, you know he's going in the end zone. So everybody get back. There they go. Everybody get back. Vinny Sinceri's back there. Richards.
That's the coaching play.
Just
GTFB.
Yeah, there you go.
Your heels
That's right there.
the
Even get
line.
back even farther.
Exactly.
Here we go. It should
Got
be
all
the final
time.
play of this one.
Get your heels on the goal line. There you go.
Shaw.
Throw it.
Heaves it into the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown. B.J. Daniels.
That is a terrible way to end the game if you're the defense. That's just, you've done everything right. You've been playing so well, and you basically allow a broken play, Hail Mary. Shaw just scrambles all over the place, gets good penetration by the defense. Almost grab him, and he's going to throw it clearly across the field. Throws it high enough, and only the receiver can get it. Benestead gets whacked right there, but it's worth it for him. Touchdown.
Yeah, Connor Shaw will take the hit.
Oh, Matt Patricia is not happy. That is just a terrible way to end the game.
2-point conversion attempt. Shaw throws complete. Darren Peterson caps it off. The drive for the Bears, and there's your final. There's the face that says it all.
Matt, come on now.
Other than that last drive, not a bad night for the Patriots. When we return, we'll have more on that. Chris Long and the Patriots victorious here in preseason game number 2.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by CarMax. Drive what's possible. And by Jostens, proudly telling the story of Patriots Super Bowl championships.